Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to discuss if Ging Freaks is actually as strong as his own son's ultimate transformation, Adult Gon himself. Now, I recently did a poll on my channel and most fans think that Ging is actually weaker than Adult Gon. Different people of course have different opinions. For example, somebody says, how the hell are we supposed to know? Ging has no feats. But I know we haven't seen Ging in an actual fight, but to be fair, I just like to speculate, you know, especially for a series like this. And of course we have to keep in mind that Gon is Jing's son, not the other way around. Anyway, some other guy says that Ging is not stronger but would probably win in an end fight. Another guy says that Gon has more raw power but Ging has more hacks, you know. While this other comment says that there's no way Gon can catch up to Ging without running out of time or aura for that matter, and Ging can just win by staying away and doing nothing, his preferred parenting style. That's a good one. Now I'm just gonna give my own thoughts on this matter. First off, Ging is from the family tree of the legendary Dawn Freaks himself. Ging was blessed, you know, he was born a whole next level genius. Chrollo has nothing on him. I actually think this dude just unlocked Nen by himself while running around forests in Whale Island with animals, you know. It's not too far stretched to say that Ging probably is 1 in 100 million Nen talent. Why? Because the dude has been stated to be a top 5 Nen user in the entire world. You guys know how many people are in the Hunter x Hunter world? Well, I don't know if it's been stated anywhere, but out of billions, and of course not all are Nen users, but the dude is a top 5 and extremely smart. Netero was so impressed by Ging, I feel like he was telling everyone about him. That's why he told Biscuit as well. He was so impressed, you know. She was surprised to hear from Gon that he is his father. She was like, wow, he is your dad. The guy is famous everywhere and most people don't even like him. Like the hunters, they don't like him and they can try to beat him up of course, but Ging would just cook them all. Netero himself stated that it's been more than 50 years since he was the strongest among Nen users. Ging is actually in his prime, and of course being a top 5 Nen user, it means he can fight, but what good is it if you can do all kinds of tricks with Nen and you can't actually fight? But the dude has proven himself. Ging is in his 30s, right, and he has reached such a high level among Nen users, while Netero reached his awakening in his 50s. So clearly Ging is around prime Netero's level. What I think is that Ging definitely doesn't have the godlike combat power of Netero. Like the Guanyin Bodhisattva is without a doubt the strongest combat ability ever. Perhaps only beyond Netero has managed to create a stronger combat ability, since he looks like an ancient Chinese general. Maybe Maha may have a similar godlike HxH. So if you take a look at this manga panel, Ging appears to have a really powerful aura, and it's been hinted even by Razor himself when he took a look at Gon's aura and he said, Ging, you can be proud, he is indeed your son, because Razor called Gon a monster by looking at his aura capacity. Now indirectly this tells us that Ging has a vast amount of aura which is monster-like. Ging as a individual may be so rare that he may have the most intense will and determination which fuels his Nen up to the stratosphere. So Ging is a rare genius, not like Chrollo and Hisoka, way beyond that. And by having this insane amount of aura and skill, it may allow Ging to execute a really powerful but simple ability. The ability may be overpowered but simple at the same time. I feel like it's not that simple but not that overcomplicated at the same time, very tricky, which only Togashi himself can come up with it. I can't really make assumptions, it could be anything. But really, Ging has many feats. He humbled a criminal like Razor, taught Nen to a pro like Kite, and by the way, Ging was the one who helped Kite develop his hustle. So this tells us that Jing's knowledge of Nen is beyond any genius level. Without a doubt, Ging has reached the ultimate proficiency of Nen, extremely skilled, but he reached it at a very young age. Considering how Ging created such a complex game like Grid Island, he copied Leora's ability in a flash. To add to that, he took the ability to the next level using aura as ultrasound and shooting aura through a wall. This tells us that Jing's Nen knowledge, skill and sharp intellect is something, without exaggerating, that is seen once in 100 years in Hunter x Hunter world. I mean, Ging even has a book of Dawn Freaks himself. He knows so many details about the Dark Continent. That is his life goal, to go there basically. He knows the creatures lurking there, he knows the dangers, and still doesn't show any hesitation to go and step foot into this place called the Dark Continent. Ging is clearly superior to every Zodiac in terms of intelligence, strategy and ability. ability. Even a master snake like Pariston can't keep up with this guy. It's even impossible to track this dude. Killua even implied that Ging may have a super powered version of Zetsu, which is crazy. All in all, man, Ging is one of the most powerful in this Nen world. Since Ging has been hyped up so much since the beginning, it's fair to say he defeats the royal guards one-on-one. Adult Gon really was a short transformation, but it gave Gon the power of a lifetime, all the power he would ever have, of course without the combat experience or knowledge. So Pito stated about Gon that his fangs may sink even into the king, meaning Gon's raw power was close to the king. Adult Gon's speed was so insane, Pito with therapy score couldn't even touch him. But really, Ging may actually have the same speed as Adult Gon, possibly even faster. You saw how he lifted this temp hunter guy in a flash. The movements of Ging were so insanely fast, the dude thought he got punched by that overwhelming pressure he got right there, you know, multiple times. So it may be a hint that Ging is incredibly fast. Also, Gon is Jing's son, not the other way around. And these freaks guys are all monsters. So what I mean is, if Ging has a vast amount of aura, it means he has raw strength as well. Ging is so confident in his own strength, he even told Pariston that if he was about brute force, he would basically destroy him, but he has to break his spirit. Now, of course, no matter how strong Adult Gon is, to be fair, even if he has hours upon hours of transformation time, Jing's skills, experience, and possibly a overwhelming OP ability can disrupt Gon's whole flow. I feel like Ging is so insanely smart and perceptive, he can analyze Gon's movements and predict his attacks in a flash. It may be something related to his ability, you never know. It's been shown that Ging actually predicts almost everything that will happen. It may be his ability, you never know. But considering Gon sacrificed his whole life force to obtain the raw aura power, it could be that he is a bit stronger in terms of raw strength, but it doesn't mean that he can hit Ging with a paper or straight up rock, you know. I don't want to go over the same facts repeated all over again, but Ging has shown terrifying intellect, prediction ability, combat power due to capturing Razor, extreme knowledge about Nen, and since he has been hyped up so much, it's fair to say that Ging is as strong as Adult Gon, but not in a brute power type of way. He does have power, of course, aura capacity, but his ability is so overwhelming that it makes him untouchable by any genius Nen user. I feel like Hisoka was lucky he didn't meet Ging that day, or he would have been cooked. Considering all we know about Ging, I feel like you need 2 or 3 Zodiacs to kill him. You probably need to bring Beyond himself to fight him. You probably need post-Rose Meruem in order to end this guy. So, but really, this was more of a freestyle video. I have a new video coming up on Ging going through in detail. I really hope we see Ging in action one day. That would be incredibly cool. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.